Did you guys see this interview with, again, he's getting a lot of airtime here, but Hossein Amir-Abdollahian. This is the Islamic Republic Foreign Minister, stooge, puppet, Pinocchio, whatever you want to call him. He did this interview with Christiane Amanpour.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I have an opinion about this that I want to share, and let me issue a couple of disclaimers first. First of all, Christiane Amanpour has done really important work over the years. I think she's, there's a track record of some really, really impressive interviews, and I have no question she's a hardworking journalist, and don't know her. Some things she's done I don't agree with, but that's the way it is with everybody, and overall, good for her, right? Great, and a strong, powerful presence in media. I don't understand the point of interviewing this person at this moment. More specifically, giving a platform to somebody giving a huge platform, the CNN platform. Now, I know the argument would be Christiane Amanpour is a world-renowned journalist, so she will bring this person on and ask him tough questions, and he will be exposed as, an idiot, which is somewhat of what happened. But I still don't understand the exercise. And I'm actually quite surprised that no one seemingly in our diaspora is reacting to this and going, why did you give this guy a platform? CNN. I mean, I get why it's good for Christiane Amanpour and CNN, ratings, attention. She gets to be tough and ask questions and all of that. But honestly, at this stage, does this person really have anything? Is there anything at all that he's going to say that is unexpected or new or will represent anything other than 44 years of this regime's bullshit, which he was already peddling this week? There's no point. He's just done this speech and answered questions and said idiotic things like not one person has been killed. He said all those things. Yeah. So now you're going to give him a platform. And my concern about it is not for the Iranian audience, because in a way, it actually kind of serves the Iranian audience. Christiane asks a tough question, and but there's evidence that they are killed, and then he looks like an idiot, and everybody shares video of it and goes, "Oh, what a buffoon this guy is." But Iranians are not the only audience for CNN.
Exactly.
CNN International. Yeah. It's a massive. So you agree with me?
I'm waiting for you to finish because I am so angry about this.
Because so in other words, there's a big international audience who are watching this that don't have the background, never heard of this guy. They heard, Iran's a bad place, or there's a dictatorship or something, but watch this and go, well, he seems kind of soft-spoken, why is she badgering him so much? I mean, they don't even go, okay, there's two sides. There's the side that she's presenting, which people have been killed. He's saying nobody's been killed. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. It's nowhere near in the middle. Exactly. It's nowhere near in the middle. This is a person, every single thing he said was a lie. So you are actively bringing someone on that you know is going to lie about everything on a major platform, and it's not a new government. They didn't just, Islamic Republic's not in the first year where you go, okay, let's do some interviews and really learn about who these people are. It's the opposite of that. Yeah. So it was really kind of, I've been going back and forth, and I know that I even texted a couple of journalists. I was like, what are you not, and they said, well, she'll ask him, it'll expose him, but it's not going to expose him because he's not Will Smith, he's not like this known figure that everybody's already debated about. Again, for the Iranian community. But, if you're just sitting out there, you're watching your nightly show with Christiane Amanpour, and she asks these, and you kind of go, okay, well, I guess this is the official guy. Look, and he's all dressed up for the interview. And I'm not convinced that platform should have been given to this person at this time. Even, like I said this before at one of our shows, a couple of years ago when I was interviewing Homer Sashar for Roqe, and I said, would you interview Zarif? It was like 2 or 3 years ago. I guess he was still foreign minister. I don't know. And she said, yeah, I would. I'd like to. I think it's important to interview him, hold these people to account. Okay, But we're in the middle of right now, schoolgirls are being poisoned to bring this. Anyway. So that's I was going to ask you if you had a similar take. Oh,
I'm ready. I'm like amped up to tell you everything I think about this. First of all, we just came off of this walkout on the Islamic Republic campaign.
Right.
Given his speech at the
UNHCR. Do not sit inside there while this same guy does a speech at the UN.
We literally asked as many foreign ministers, delegates, NGO representatives, journalists, anyone who was going to be in the room. We begged them for weeks, walk out when this guy starts talking. We put ourselves, and I say we as Iranians in the diaspora, we put this big campaign out there. We put all this effort behind it. And then only to turn around and have one of the biggest Iranian American journalists sit down with this individual and give him a platform on one of the biggest news channels in the world. Are you kidding me? That's what is happening in the same week. That's the first thing. The second thing is, again, like you said, as Iranians, we all knew what to expect in terms of the answers, the double talk. There was nothing in there that wasn't expected. It was good fodder. It's good fodder for Twitter. Oh, look what this idiot said for the Iranian bubble. Yeah. But what I'm worried about is the non-Iranians, right? Because for anyone who's not as involved and so deeply into what is happening every second over the course of the last 6 months and is not Iranian and doesn't have Iranian friends, let's say, they would look at this and say, well, he's not that bad, and they don't know.
Maybe they might. Yeah.
I think the way he was.
You ever seen you seen somebody from another country, like some leader from Asian country talking, and you go, okay, well that's their leader, and then somebody from that country goes, do you not know this guy?
Exactly.
Yeah. And you go, oh, okay, that's a dictator.
That's right. Know, yeah. And I think we've talked about this before on the show, where we've said, things have changed so much in the last little while for Iranians. We're no longer receptive to reform the way that maybe we were, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was, or we no longer have the tolerance for so much. Whereas maybe 5-6 years ago, like you said, someone like Hossein Amir would say, yeah, you know what, I'll have the conversation. Maybe there's room for dialogue and things like that. We don't have that anymore.
I'm not suggesting we should only interview people we agree with. Ever.
No, absolutely
I'm not ever suggesting that. And if Christiane Amanpour would come on the show, I would love it. I would love to hear her reasoning. I'm sure she has a reason why she thinks this is a good idea. And I would love if Christiane Amanpour is listening, come on and talk to us and tell us why you think it's a good idea or what we learned from this.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Listen to you though. I was trying to be nuanced about it.
I'm not. I'm all that, and I still have more. I like her. I'm a fan of hers. Okay. But she did not do a good job in that interview.
No?
I'm sorry, she did not. The only time that she pushed back was about the drones in Ukraine, where she pulled out the photos and was really giving him a hard time. No, she pushed back on people not dying and people not
being
really, not enough. I mean, not once did she actually look at him and say, "You're full of shit." Excuse my language, but you're lying. I mean, we have fact, we have evidence. There's dead bodies piling up in that country.
See, again,
and you're going to tell me no?
That's the thing. As an interviewer, if you're going to bring somebody on that is only peddling shit, what is the point? Because unless you're just going to sit there and say, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, in which case you're doing it for the exercise to get clicks or something like that. And let's imagine that this was for a higher standard somehow. I don't know. But, that what is the point then?
Yeah.
Surely that I mean, in other words, it's like, well, let's learn what he has to say.
Yeah, but
what's the justification for what what justification?
Well,
we're past it. Sorry. Go ahead, Darya. We bring you in here.
I was just going to say there is no justification. And that's the thing, as you said, like for non-Iranians, when they listen to this, they think, oh, okay, maybe he's right 80% of it, lying 20% of it. No, like it's 0%.
Right.
Like all of it is lie. And then there's nothing out of it. And then we were listening right now to it, and KNZ got angry and she just left. She was like, I can't listen to this. And I don't blame her. Like, yeah.
Honestly, listening to 5 minutes of it was enough to understand that this guy is just going to keep lying and just not tell the truth and pretend like everything is totally fine.
And the thing is that it's not like he hasn't been available. It's not like we don't know what his position is, right? It's like he's coming out of the reclusive foreign minister that no one has spoken to is doing an interview. I mean, he's been around. He's been on tour all week. He's been at the UN. He's been issuing statements. He was in the hallway. Iran International was running after him. Nobody's been killed. I mean, we already know all that stuff, right?
But what I was saying about her not pushing back enough? So, for example, he mentioned how Iranians are, in support of the MEK, or Iranians in the diaspora are in support of the MEK, and why is there a double standard with the leader of the MEK having a hijab, but then Christiane Amanpour is giving him, a hard time with the hijab regulations and laws and whatnot in Iran. But this is what I mean. She didn't negate that. She didn't come out with facts and say, look, no, that's not the case. There's the opposition that the Iranian diaspora is
but
supporting.
Again, this is the problem with bringing somebody on like that, because either you're going to spend the whole time debating, in which case that's not an interview. That's just like, I'm bringing someone on to debate them, which is very fashionable these days. Let me bring Trump on and show how tough I am by ambushing him with all these questions. But what is the point? That's the question.
I think with an individual like this, though, the traditional interview doesn't work, and that's why I'm against this.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is that I'm really upset with CNN as a whole, and I'm just angry at the world today. So I'm sorry, but
it's bad way. Piruz died.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really upset with CNN because here they are giving airtime to this buffoon, and yet not once have they given prime airtime to the opposition outside of Iran.
Yes.
The opposition,
whatever the opposition
is, right? Where is this airtime for someone like Masih or Reza Pahlavi or any one of the other members of this quote-unquote coalition?
Put Hamid Ismailioun on Christiane Amanpour.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, that's my rant. That's part of it anyway.